To give a special shout out real quick. I want to open the episode like this. My boy Pat couldn't be here. Unfortunately, he had a death in the family. So we want to open this up with having everyone really just give you all's condolences to him. Pat's been working hard to actually support this channel, get this to where it's going. So we want to make sure that we, just start off getting proper respect. So just have a moment of silence for that. Condolences to him. Pat's been working hard. So much for the moment of silence.
Excuse me.
Hey, Pat, blame
the stat man. I'm sorry, Pat.
Hey, listen. Don't blame my hearts. I'm just trying. Oh my God.
I already reached out to Stat man. You know I got love.
Anyway, man, hey, listen,
for you,
we don't keep it moving. That's just how dysfunctional this show is. We can't even give proper respect to the dead, right? God. That's the you clean under the bus. Anyway, that being said, man, listen, this is another episode of the Daily Show on the Windy City Breeze. Listen, we already know why we're here. Y'all know what we do. You know what we have to talk about. Joe, super producer.
What's happening, people? How y'all doing?
Go ahead, give us the. Let's just start off with this, man. Let's just go right into this.
Right into the bag.
I want to get this out the way because it's been on the news all day. Like, there's no place you can turn right now that doesn't talk about how bad we are. So let's just get this out the way real quick on how just disastrous we are.
Just a quick recap of the game. Five punts for 229 yards. So, this is just bad. Justin Fields, I guess, the only highlight, 99 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That was in garbage time, 47 rushing yards. DJ Moore had 3 receptions for 43 yards, 41 yards and a touchdown. Next up, Roshan, Roshan for 8 carries, but 4.8 yards per carry. I like that was the only thing I liked out of that whole situation. And Khalil Herbert with another 8 yards, 8 carries, 38 yards, and 4.4 yards per carry. And then TJ Edwards was the only real stand on defense. He had 17 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. So there you have it, boys. Let's fire away.
First of all, shout out to you for that clown music because that is very on point for this whole week of chaos.
Shout out to you. I have to sit there and say, go ahead, JC, what you got for me? Hey, by the way, if you all don't realize this, JC is in the building right now.
Statman is in the front now.
Statman is in the front. He can't. He got notes.
I got notes. I got a pad.
He got paperwork. My man C Dub is in the building with him over there. You can't hear him over there, but guess what? He's on camera.
Shout out to Calvin.
Over the other side. My man Drew is here with us too.
We got Drew B in the building.
Hey, Drew B right there, man. Hey, Drew you're in the Breeze Discord league, aren't you?
He is in our league. Yes,
you are. So you all get to put
Trash
a face
talk
to the name right now.
I think I'm winning.
Hey, baby,
oh,
it's
Lord.
only week 3.
I was about to say, you're talking too soon.
It's way too soon. Okay, I got you. Hey, but getting back to what this Bears team has put out on the field. I told you so. I told you so.
I'm gonna put the standards up.
I told you.
I told you. I said. Hey, my dad.
Told you.
Wait, my dad doesn't even watch sports. He watched the show. He said, "I believe you said they were gonna lose like 35-7." I said that. I was like, I was right. I knew they were gonna
close.
Hey, listen. Somebody mic's off. Well, listen, we'll figure that out in a minute, Steve-O. Listen, I told everyone that this was going to be a bad season, mainly not because I thought Justin couldn't play. The Bears were not in a position to get him where he needed to be. Tell me I'm wrong.
Now you're not.
Now I'm not.
Because I had rose-colored glasses on for the first 2 weeks. And this thing went south real quick. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm on that bandwagon now where there needs to be a drastic change with this organization because this is probably one of the worst weeks of chaos I've seen from the Bears organization.
It's just
worst week.
I don't know. I look at it more like it's just the culmination of like this was put up or shut up time.
Yeah.
And so this was the time for everybody to galvanize together and see what you're made of. And I feel like there are no dogs on this team. There is no
No,
fights.
there's dogs.
No,
There's dogs.
No, who?
Justin Fields is a dog.
No.
DJ Moore's a dog.
No, he's not.
Tyreek Stevenson's a
Tyreek
dog.
Stevens is a dog.
Tyreek's a dog.
Roshan is a dog.
That's a fact.
Fine,
That's a
I
fact.
stand corrected. The point is,
Cole Kmet is a dog.
there's nobody that
Yeah.
sat there and is making like galvanizing this team together. You know, of course, we're all excited. Like, yeah, we drank the Kool-Aid first 2 weeks. Raging Oracle, you're right. We did drink the Kool-Aid because you know what? Everybody did. The national media did. Everybody's picking the Bears. So the moves that polls made, we all like those moves. But now it's like, what do y'all want us to do? We want to believe. We want to believe like over there in Colorado, but you're not giving us nothing.
No, they Colorado.
They believing over there.
They're Colorado. They just don't have the talent. We have the talent.
We have some talent, but that coaching, something is not. The issue that we're having is like, why are we not scheming for this guy's talent? You're too busy trying to prove right that, you know, if he's making the reads that he can't make the reads, right? Or he's taking too long, he's processing. Because I'm sitting there watching like throw the ball. Throw the ball. So he does do that. So stop putting him in positions to make him do that.
The problem I'm having ultimately is it again. Some people are already saying in the chat, it starts from the top down. You've already said it. I've actually done this research today. Tell me what Flus has accomplished.
Oh, here we go.
Outside of becoming a head
So
coach.
he was a
Tell me what he's
DC.
accomplished.
He's a DC in
He was a DC
all I
with
know.
what?
In Indiana, they were decent. They were decent. But as a head coach, nothing.
Okay. What has Luke Getsy done? He coached too.
He was in the quarterback room with Aaron Rodgers for all I
Who
know.
was already MVP before he got there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to. Okay, look, I'm not. Again, my point was,
Why would
I'm
I
not
want the
gonna rush.
guy who helped Aaron Rodgers with my mobile QB? When's the last time you seen Aaron Rodgers do what Justin Fields did?
About 10 years ago,
10 years ago?
something like that.
10
8 years ago.
Aaron Rodgers ain't been that Aaron Rodgers in 10 years.
I would say
Don't need to be because he's so freaking what?
Good.
Accurate. He's so good. He's so good.
he can read. Well, he got a chance to sit for 5 years.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, behind and
You
see
got a long
that
time.
might be one of the things that the Bears are doing that they need to implement.
And at the end of the day, Luke Getsy, you have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is telling you what he wants. Your job is to make sure you make it happen. It's to facilitate it. Last time you saw an MVP sit there and say, "Hey, Luke, what's up?
Nope.
Tell me what I'm missing." Now, I'm not saying he didn't do that at all, but he was already an established QB.
No, more times than not, you're going to go to that coach and say, "Hey, this is what we're going to run." Or if you're in the pocket, you'll be like, "Okay, we audibling out of
Where
that."
are the people who have proven success in developing talent?
We talked about it in the car on our way. It's like you gotta. To me, what I notice is like Shanahan, even McVay, a lot of those guys that are coordinators. It's like they owned their offense. When they took it with them, and they went somewhere else and they implemented. When Shanahan left, he left Washington. He goes over to Atlanta. They go to the Super Bowl. He leaves there. Then he goes to San Francisco. They're going to the Super Bowl. Like he has a proven winning system.
track record.
And I think instead of you getting guys that ran the system, we know how to run it versus I need a guy that knows what they're doing. And I mean, my thing was like this. Yes, I'm a half glass full kind of guy. I want to see what you can do. It's not how do you know we don't
get the GM hat on? You need to help.
You
GM.
see, I got the GM. You see the GM?
You need to help GM. Baby.
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help, baby. I wanted to
Raid Hallis Hall. Hey, Raid Hallis Hall, like they said they did.
Apparently, we could just
Please.
go up there since they missing $100,000 worth.
You
of
saw,
stuff.
okay, is this true? Is it? I'm trying to remember this. Did the Bears ownership already peg Eberflus before Poles actually hired him? Didn't they give him a couple people that he could pick from versus Poles picking his guy?
I think Bill Polian gave like a list, right?
So
That's
Polian,
what was said.
right?
Give me the report.
Yeah, because I'm just curious of like, okay,
You're right.
Give me the report.
Right.
But see,
Because that runs contrary to this whole, big energy that Ryan Poe supposedly walked in with. Like, I'm not taking this if I can't pick my own guys or I can't.
I do remember him saying. I do remember that being said that I want my.
Pat sat in this very chair.
Yeah, I remember that.
several times. So guess what? I'm not gonna give him King Poe stylist. Like he gonna come in at Hallis Hall, change some things, and then all of a sudden now you're trying to tell me that he's
Here, hold on. I don't got some topics here. We don't skip by. Let's
No, we get into these topics.
real
baby.
quick.
No,
Real
I'm
quick.
sorry.
Like the standings, like the Packers are number one.
Okay.
I can't. That just hurts. And they're 1-0 in the division though. No one else is We're the only ones that played a division game. So even if this is, I guess the question is like, as we transition to, is this season salvageable?
No. The Vikings are 0-3 because they lost some close games.
Realistically, let's just be honest though. Realistically, is it salvageable from how early on it is in the season? Yes, but if we're being honest and we see what's being put on the field, the product that's been put on the field for this team, absolutely not. You look at the top from the top bottom, the leadership issues, like he already mentioned, the coach Eberflus. When you went into that press and you saw Eberflus say, "I'm disappointed," he didn't show any anger. He didn't show any frustration. It's just simply, "I'm disappointed." I want to compare that to another head coach that we're going to face this week coming up in the Denver Broncos. Sean Payton. When you saw his press conference, he was pissed. That man stopped people from asking questions. He was like, "I'm not answering that." We just got obliterated 70-20 by the Miami Dolphins. And that's not going to happen anymore. I was on the other side of those type of games in New Orleans where we dominated. There's going to be a change. So, and then they're the favorites already going into week 4.
They should be.
With a 50-point loss, you got the favorites. You're still a favorite going up against the Bears.
That says a lot. Swiss cheese for defense. Real quick, super chat. We got a shout out, our man Dan Tanner. He said, what do you say? What up, fellas? Just keep in mind that there are quite a few injured starters and a doofus of an offensive coordinator who only called 2 slant routes. It's like, yes, we do have injured starters on the line, but the problem is it's still like the scheme. I agree, like the coordinator being, 2 slant routes. I don't understand what's going on up there. But this is, why do we keep getting the exact same looking? Like, we look the same. When we're bad, this is exactly what we look like all the time. Like, it doesn't matter if it's John Shoup. It doesn't matter if it's Mike Tice. It doesn't matter. Like, when it's bad, it looks just like this. We are inept. We have deer in the headlight kind of look. No type of offensive creativity. Nothing.
Let's have a quick exercise. What's the common theme there?
No quarterback and no
quarterback. No OC, no real OC.
No.
Ownership is one. I'm gonna lean up ownership a little bit. You know what the other thing is now? Because it's been happening the last 10 years. Where's your offensive mind at head coach?
Yep.
Right. Well,
yep.
Okay.
This ties in. Who's been in the game for a minute.
So look, we got a quote here. Polian revealed that it was McCaskey who wanted to cast a wide net for both positions and ensure that the search team and the search itself were as diverse as possible. The Bears ultimately interviewed 13 candidates for the general manager position, 8 of whom were minorities, and 10 individuals for the head coaching job, including 5 minorities. So they didn't let the GM actually really do his job. Because someone else had a good comment in the chat. You can't go backwards. You can't hire the coach, then the GM, then the president,
which is what they did.
So you're saying the Bears organization is backwards.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
all right.
And they've been pretty consistent being backwards.
Yeah, exactly. That is about the only consistent thing they do. Inept in all levels. God, man.
I think that at the end of the day, I think Poles is still sitting nice because he still gets to. We still have Justin Fields for like 2 years. This is his 3rd year, right?
This is 3rd season.
So we got this year. He got the end of his rookie year, and then if you want to tag him, you can still take the draft. He still insulated himself. He's got 2 picks.
What's taggable?
I'm saying let's just franchise tag.
No, I get it.
I'm saying let's just say Justin Fields next year. Let's just say they're going to bring in. Eberflus is gone, or the coordinator is gone. Whatever. Something's got to be done because there's no fire, there's no bite, there's no nothing. We haven't seen any progress. So we get a new system. Can we get an established coach? Does Poles actually make this choice? Does Kevin Warren and them make this choice, and not the middling McCaskey folks that have been doing this for years? And can we get a real coach in here? I don't want someone like a carbon copy of a Dick Duran. I mean, Lovie Smith was the best of all the kind of bland coaches, I mean, Dick Duran, who else was there? Mark Trestman, a lot of these vanilla personality type. I'm not saying I don't need a fiery Mike Ditka type. I'm fine with a strong. John Fox was probably one of those guys, but he was like, my job is I'm out the door if I don't win. That's the only coach we've ever hired that had experience.
Yeah.
John Fox.
How many organizations see this type of change this often?
I don't know.
Man, honestly, no.
Jets.
Bears and Lions.
The reason I'm asking this question is
that's a good call out.
Get to the next topic is realistically, we had a head coach that inherited a QB. He didn't like him. That went south. We get rid of that QB. Now we bring in Justin Fields. We fire the head coach. We're not going to go through another shift. And where I hear everyone keep saying, "Oh, Justin Fields." No, he's not. No, he's not. If there's any other team, any other organization, he's on the hot seat. He's out. Zach Wilson, is he going to have his job next year?
Probably not.
Because while Aaron Rodgers heals up, is he going to have his job? Seriously. They picked him number 2 overall.
No.
He's just as bad as Fields. Look it up.
I'm sorry. Who else switching mics out? Who?
Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah, Zach, yeah.
Zach Wilson. That whole organization, the whole team was like, no, he ain't it. He ain't it. Like, listen, you don't do it.
Yeah.
We go to another head coach. We're getting rid of Fields.
No, if anything.
How many times has it worked out that way?
No, I'm gonna say this. Let's just say, okay, let's just put pie in the sky. And there's a certain offensive coordinator that had success with a special skill set like a Justin Fields.
Eric Bieniemy.
Greg Roman.
Oh, okay.
He got Lamar Jackson the MVP.
Okay.
He got Colin Kaepernick to the Super Bowl. He was with Harbaugh when Harbaugh had him and Vic Fangio.
That's a good point.
That was there is an OC out there that has a scheme or system. I think he owns his scheme.
So this ties directly into your question. Is the season lost?
Yeah, the season's lost.
Hold on. But you have to make that move mid-season to start getting that rolling because
that's not going to happen.
Why not?
The Bears aren't an organization that does that. They don't cut ties in the middle of the season unless something like what Allen Williams is going through is happening. They don't cut ties with. They're too loyal. They're just like Reinsdorf.
That sounds like what?
Yeah, but we don't know if that's
sounds like stupidity.
But that might.
That's what it is.
But we don't know.
That's ownership again.
Yeah, all the way at the top.
Hold on.
So ownership of Bears.
Time out. Get me wrong. There's a hierarchy here, right?
Yeah.
Does Poles not have the ability to hire and fire people?
He does.
He does.
So let me ask you this: why are we talking about ownership if Poles has the ability to hire and fire people underneath?
You know good and well.
Are coaches underneath those GMs?
They're supposed to.
Yes.
They're supposed to be.
That is a fact.
Do they not have a whole organizational org chart now?
We finally got an org chart in God knows how many years.
So why am I talking about George when I need to be talking about Poles? Is Poles willing to sit there and say this has to change?
We don't know. Who's turn the mic on the back? Who's that?
Drew. Talking about for Drew.
Keep going.
Oh yeah. That's usually my chair. The stat man chair is always low.
Right. Oh, you had it off. You gonna turn it off. There we go. Check. There we go. All right. The point is that we don't know what Kevin Warren with Poles is going to do because this has a sense of McCaskey over some of that stuff. Now, I mean, hey, look, Poles has to be accountable. I see some of the chat going off. You're not going to hit on every pick, but Poles didn't have a first-round pick. He drafted with Brisker, and he drafted the other cornerback, right? We got some pieces. We didn't have a first-round pick last year. The year before, I mean. His first year.
Hold on, man.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
I'm talking about, well, this year is this year. Last year.
Last year, I give you that.
So the fact is that he finally got, I guess the thing is that they needed a 3-technique guy. You were scared off from Jalen Carter. I'm not necessarily mad at that based off all the off-the-field stuff that he had going on. You're able to trade and get 2 number 1 picks for next year. You got a number 1 receiver that they never had. The receiver that we have has more receiving yards than any Bears receiver, period. He already has more total receiving yards in his career.
Talking about DJ Moore?
DJ Moore.
Yeah.
So we have talent. But we don't have a D-line, which is still part of only in year 2 of Poles' rebuild. So I think we're just disappointed that these guys look so flat.
This felt like a poor attempt at a rebuild, though. It felt like a hybrid, like a retool. Like I feel like if you're going to go full rebuild, don't set the expectation of a winning season to see it right out.
But it's not.
So that's really difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know football is season over season, and we've seen it happen in the past. But we're talking about the Chicago Bears going from a defensive mind to offensive mind, and we didn't have proof that we had it.
Do you think we went to a full rebuild?
We are. We're in the middle of it.
We're not done.
We're in the middle.
We're right in the not even begin. I say we're in the start because you don't have your left tackle that you look at your Hall of Fame left tackle. You don't have your stud defensive lineman that's going like Michael Parsons that's going to tackle the quarterback almost every play. So you're still in the beginning parts of your rebuild. So you can't really give Poles a grade right now. because
Yes, I can.
he's still in the beginning.
Oh, yes,
he's still in the
You
beginning.
can grade.
He's still in the beginning.
You can grade because there's
Hold on.
He's still in
you
the
got
beginning.
to
You
see
can't give him his
improvement.
final grade like they talking about poses, this, that, and the other.
How long?
He's still going.
He gave a
Still
progress
going.
report though.
Right, a
My
progress
kids always
report.
give me a progress
Yeah,
report.
progress
Drew,
report.
Drew, if you go from 1 year where you see progression in the quarterback last year in Justin Fields' mobility, and he was doing okay, still lost the last 12 games of last season. But then you go into this year, and all the pundits are saying, oh, this team has gotten this from the offensive line. This team has gotten a great core of linebackers, even though they let Roquan Smith go. You got all these improvements in different areas of the team. You're telling me that that's not a progression on the trajectory of this team? You're saying they're still at ground zero?
No, I agree with you. They are past ground zero. They are in your first quarter.
But they also said that they would make the playoffs this year.
See, that's you don't set
That was the Kool-Aid everybody was drinking.
No, that's
It was-
he's passing it out.
No, all the pundits, not
Don't
just
sit there and
Bears
make the
fans.
Kool-Aid and then say don't drink it. Like,
No.
hold on, now.
Hey, that's the Kool-Aid everybody was drinking.
Nah, that's some bad Kool-Aid.
It's
there.
bad Kool-Aid.
It was bad Kool-Aid.
Oh,
They put
that
them
ain't
sugar in
fruit
it.
punch.
They put them sugar in it.
The time frame that he sat there and made certain moves made sense at the time, but the execution is so poor. You question it.
Mhm.
I like what he did in the sense of the pieces he got rid of. How I think we don't give him enough credit because it's so bad now. But to sit there and deplete our team in such a strategic way that still gave us hope while making some strategic moves in the offseason, that's allowed us to roll into this season feeling like we were going to be well. And so I give him credit for that. 110%. That's a hard thing to do. He pulled it off. The problem he's going to have now is the fact that he hired people who can't develop and bring that vision to fruition. As someone said that in the chat, I'm gonna give you credit for your bar right there. But you have to have people to support it. It doesn't matter what pieces you bring in if you have no one that's developing, you have no one that's executing. He can't do it by himself. So as long as he holds himself to that, he's going to be on the hot seat. He has to be on the hot seat.
Agreed, but he didn't get to pick his coach, and coaching is development. So everybody's saying Fields needs to develop. Your development as a quarterback comes from your coaching. If the coaching is not there to develop, then the product on the field is going to resemble that. So all Justin Fields shortcomings, not all of them, like I say, most of his shortcomings comes from not having the coaching, not having the base
Right.
for him to grow as a quarterback.
It's just like Green Bay they have the handoff. You have, first of all, the system came down where Holmgren comes from Bill Walsh, right? As a disciple. You have Mooch. They got a great staff of those guys that were there back in the late 90s, mid 90s. Then you got Brett Favre that's there forever. So he's mastered the game. Then you give it to Aaron Rodgers that's sitting there. Like they're able to hand off a system. Now, mind you, when the guy that's down there in Dallas, he had a good run for 10 years, right? Their stability that they created, and they were a balanced team, in my opinion. It wasn't necessarily always a defensive minded, because when the Packers were doing their thing, I mean, when in 2010, they brought old boy that was from Jacksonville. And when they got BJ Raji, they got Clay Matthews Jr., and they got Woodson, them boys, they had a crazy defense, but they always had a good offense. They always were offensive centric, and then their defense would come and go. We seem to be stuck in this. We got to get this defense. It's like we need to be balanced.
85 Bears.
That's because that's the Bears way. The Bears have always said, we're going to tell you what we're doing. We're going to line up, and it's all about execution. That is the old NFL.
So what you're saying is they're not keeping up with the times.
They're not keeping up with the times. Exactly.
They've made defenses too weak now. You only have
can't hold. You can't
do nothing.
hit. You used to be scared to come across the middle because you will literally have your career ended in one play.
Well, that ain't been the NFL in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
But the Bears are still going in like 1920s wearing leather helmet.
No.
That's the kind of offense that we still run.
You know
It's a
what
leather
Justin
helmet
Fields
offense.
plays
What-
like
what
in
I
the
would say-
1920s. Sid Luckman has more yards than him.
he's the second.
Oh, wow.
It's the
That's
truth.
a fact.
He's the number
I
two.
know it's the truth, man.
I had to look that
I
mess
know.
up. He is number 2 all time since the 40s. They have never put a precedent on having a quarterback. So I guess why will we be delusional to think that they can develop a quarterback right now if the ownership, someone has to say, give me that guy.
Our best QB was not someone that was bred in our locker room.
Which is
We
why I
didn't
say
draft someone
ownership.
to develop into a good
It
quarterback.
starts at
Jay
ownership
Cutler,
all the way
Jay
down.
I was just about to say Jay Cutler. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's ownership
totally
all the way
agree.
down.
Mitchell Trubisky would be right after him. Statistically, Mitch is right after him.
he is. I got him 5th. He's like,
our 5th best QB. And guess what? Matt Nagy hated that kid.
Because the problem is, again, do we have to deal with egos with this coaching stuff? Like, is it an ego because this is my system? I need you to run the system how I want it ran because this is how we did it? Or are we smart to say, hey, you know what? Justin kind of does have a problem holding the ball a little too long. Maybe we should do what they did against Kansas City, for example. Mahomes had a whole freaking receiver on the other side of the field, and they threw everybody off, and he had like a check down all the way on the other side of the field. Mahomes is doing shovel passes. They're doing all kind of stuff. We showed no creativity, no heart, no sense of anything out there.
I got to give Matt Nagy credit for one thing, though.
Hold on. What?
One thing.
What?
Hold on. What? Y'all ready for
I was
this?
about to say, what are you getting
I
at?
got to give him credit
What?
for one thing. Now, he had the right system to do it in. But Patrick Mahomes is going to go down as one of the greatest QBs of all time already. He still sat for a year. And he sat behind and learned how to read defenses and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
he listened to an interview he gave like 4 years ago. He actually credits that year so much into his ability to read. He gives a lot of credit to Alex Smith, but he actually mentions Matt Nagy multiple times, which is crazy to me. He mentions him by name multiple times. I was like, so this is why they tripped.
Maybe it's something in the
Right?
Chicago area,
I don't
man.
know
I don't know
what
what's
it is,
going
right?
on.
I don't know what it is. But
I
here's
ain't
the
never
thing.
heard that about life.
Here's the thing. Matt Nagy had wanted him to sit, and there's some things that Fields does that I'm like, that's why Matt Nagy wanted him to sit. And you can't tell me you all don't see it.
Oh, I see. It's a 60-40 thing for me. I think coaching is bad, but Justin has to be accountable. Now, what I love that I've seen, like I've been around long enough to see some really bad football, and I've seen some potential.
You seen good football?
I have seen. We went to the Super Bowl in 06. The defense.
Joe, you had hair back then.
No, I did not.
Damn.
I have not had hair since.
He's lost it since high school.
I had lost it since 2001 when Urlacher was here. I came home in 03 or 04, whatever it was. The point is that Fields does have talent, but we don't have the creative minds to help nurture that. Trubisky actually had talent, but before everybody jumps on it, Trubisky had a problem with his deep ball, right? Fields can make the throws.
Yes.
He can throw
Those are pretty.
he can make those throws. He can
make all the throws.
He just is not.
He can make all the throws. He is capable and talented to make every last throw that you just need to in the NFL.
But the game has to slow down for him. And the thing is that the game does not allow.
Coaching.
But the game does.
No, that's not coaching.
No. I'm not gonna say
not
it's coaching.
coaching.
You want to know
That's
why?
not
Because he
coaching.
didn't say it for Mitch, and Mitch was having the same problem.
And do
wanna
you
know
also?
No, I said it was coaching back then too, because to me, the play calling and the play design is not. If you looked at the Kansas City game, Kansas City has 0 wide receivers right now. Their wide receivers are
I
horrible.
wouldn't say all that.
They're horrible. They're horrible.
I wouldn't say
They're
all
horrible.
that. Travis Kelce is a receiver. I mean, Travis Kelce is a receiver.
We're talking about on the outside.
We're talking about one. You're talking about Travis Kelce versus.
Are you talking about Marquez Valdez, Scantling, and all
Scanlon,
those boys? Sky
right.
Moore?
They have an average
Yeah,
receiver.
Chicago
pool.
Bears
Okay.
have more talent
Yeah,
than
they
wide
do.
receivers.
They do.
Right?
I thought you-
Wide receivers.
Okay, you got it.
If
You
you
got
look
it.
at if you looked
You
at
got it.
if you looked at
Don't
the
look at
play,
me like that. You got it.
if you look at the play
No,
design,
no.
We gotta get rid of this.
No,
guy.
no,
That's
no.
all right. Get out.
I'm looking at Travis Kelce. You ain't right for that, Joe.
if you look at their play design, if you look at their play design, they give Patrick Mahomes a wide open outlet in the flat on almost every play, so they're always getting positive yardage. Where's the Bears' design of that? The Bears don't have that. So he's always trying to force and wait and see instead of always having somebody open. If you look at the good offenses, there's someone open in Kansas City offense all the time, Miami's offense all the time, San Francisco's offense all the time. There's always a check down that's 5 yards. So they always are going forward.
Drew, do you see the common denominator?
Coaching.
Andy Reid, right?
Coaching.
Andy Reid's been doing this a very long time.
I'm glad
Management.
y'all took the scenic route. Y'all ready for this?
Huh?
We took the scenic route on purpose, right? This is a long play. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying,
This is why Post needs to do what?
fire and get us
There you go. Talk to me. Talk to me, baby. That's what I'm talking about. We need to fire the coach so we
Burn
can
the
get
house
the right
down.
people in the building so we can get this ball down the field.
Yeah.
We need an offensive mind.
We suck so bad right now. I just want to be mid.
But what was it?
I just
Mike
wanna be
McDonald?
mid.
Yeah, we're not even mid. Yeah,
I
you ain't lying.
just want to take somebody home from the party. I just want to be mid. We're that bad at this point.
And that's why I told Joe, and we talked about Greg Roman. Like Greg Roman has took Baltimore to the playoffs almost every year. They are relevant every year. Even on their down years, they're 500 or a game under 500. That's still being relevant.
They've been a very good organization.
That's still
for a long time.
a couple players away from back to the Super Bowl. That's what I'm looking for the Bears. Like in my lifetime, I saw the Super Bowl. We went to Super Bowl, another Super Bowl, and like I said, what was it, 2006?
06.
I've seen that. I want to be relevant year after year. I don't have to win. I don't have to be a Super Bowl every year, but I need to be relevant.
But again, where does that start, Drew?
That starts at the top.
We keep saying the same thing. We already know where it starts, so you know where the problem is then.
Exactly. But when is management going to understand? Get out of my own way.
So here's the one thing I will say, because now that we have a real org chart, we can't say manager, because when we used to say manager, we always meant George.
They just got out of the way.
With the owners, right?
They
we got a whole organization right now. So at this point, I got to say this. Well, it may be a little controversial, but guess what? We can't just sit there and pass the buck just because they black.
Who said? Why are you
a lot
got
of people
that?
sit there and they make a lot of
excuses.
that
was an issue back then.
Excuses because of, you know what? He just got in here doing it. No, if it was anybody else, you sit there, you'd be on the hot seat different.
That's not true, because they fired Pace. They fired Jerry Angelo. That's not no. You can't even go down that route.
Hey, he fired him after 7 years.
But they all got fired. They fired D'Angelo. Angelo. They fired Pace. Was here 5 years, whatever. He got 2 coaches. The whole point is that he's inheriting the mess. And now you got a president. The Bears say, you know what? We're not doing something right. We're going to step out the way and let the president of operations take over now.
Hey, Prez, I need you to do president things.
But he just got here, though. He just got here.
Hey, Jay, you're a VP, though.
Yes.
If you just got to your organization, somebody you hired is messing up.
Got a clean slate.
What are you going to do?
Clean
You
slate.
have to
go.
It's a clean slate protocol.
No,
it's the clean slate.
Hold on. In my position as a VP, you can't make a cultural shift like that depending on who you're keeping in, because you still got to run everything, right?
You're 5-23.
I'm telling you this right now. I'm going through this right now at my company, where
never mind.
new CEO.
We're gonna take this off.
What I'm getting at is that you got to get your people in, but it's hard to just fire everybody. They got staff, they got scouts, they got this whole nine. You got to build everything up. You got to assess who's already there, who's worth something, right? And sometimes you're not going to get your first hire done right. Like the boss that I had before, they got me in there, right? I've been doing okay. Then they hire this other person who they think is doing good. He was fired in 2 months because he didn't know what he was doing. The lights was too bright for the guy.
Ooh, you see what you just said? Lights was too bright. They fired him in how many months?
After a couple months. But
Exactly.
but what happens is after that, but you got a staff
You
account.
just made my point.
Yeah,
I understand that. However, but the infrastructure, but the AP is still there. You got a controller.
No one's saying your point is wrong.
You just can't do it. It takes time to assess.
Best case scenario is they cut ties and say, I'm done. Right now, I'm done. You're not developing the quarterback like I need to. You're not playing it. You're not calling the plays. You're not designing plays. Best case scenario is to fire. Not the Bears'
By
way.
the third quarter, it was
Not
the point
the
where
Bears'
the
way.
Kansas City Chiefs had more points than Justin Fields had yards.
When I saw, what makes me mad?
We're 0-3. Do you all think we're gonna go to the Super Bowl?
Of course not.
Are we going to the playoffs?
Why are you even asking that?
Playoffs?
Are we going to? I
I just want to win a game. Right, yeah. That was exactly.
You just want to win a game.
I just want to
I
win.
just want to win a game.
No. Are we going to be close?
No.
Let me pull the standards back up.
You cutting this off right now. It's not going to harm you because you already.
But it doesn't work. But you have to. There's still a cycle.
What are we doing?
But who you bringing in? You gonna let Getsy run the team?
Hold on.
No.
So who
What
you
are we saying?
You gotta have a coach for the rest of the year. Who you bringing in? Nobody's coming in mid-season like that.
Eberflus is already taken over the reins for the DC because he's already a defensive minded coach.
I know. So if you cut everybody, who's gonna be there?
Hold on. Is Lovey available?
No, he's not coming back here.
Real talk.
Why you fire a guy? He's not coming back.
You want to know why Lovey?
Give him an offer.
Because all these black
Everything
No,
on the table.
the key is not to band-aid it. He has to strip this thing down. You have to assess everything, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, the thing is, it takes time to do this. This is the aircraft carrier that you just don't turn on the dime. It takes a while to build this. So even after this year, who knows whatever else he has on that staff? Because if he gets rid of Eberflus, I mean, typically, I guess they get rid of most everybody, right? Mm-hmm. He's got to go through this process. Maybe now Eberflus might be a bust, or he is a bust.
No,
Getsy as a bust. Matter of fact, the whole but was that his pick or was he pushed to make that pick? Either way, it's still bad.
Yeah, stop talking to Bill Polian. How about that?
Who's this? I know who he is, but I'm saying like
I like Bill.
He's old school in my opinion. So that's another reason why I'm like, okay.
Why does this name?
Because the McCaskies don't know
Bill Polian.
how to run.
Like I know who he is. I know what he's done. I know the
organization.
significance of it. But why he keep?
Okay, this goes to my other point. Why? And someone made a good point about like our packs and all that. When the owners like you, right? A lot of times, even in the corporate world, when a chief comes in, they're bringing their friends in.
Loyalty to a fault.
They're bringing their people in.
Loyalty to
I'm gonna have you run the finance. I'm gonna have you run this department. You're gonna be marketing. They're bringing their people in here, and it's no different. It's a network. These people are all recycles in the same world that we're in right now. So Polian is just as old as half these jokers. As I guess, well, Mama McCaskey is what 90 plus.
Yeah.
Polian is what 85, 6.
No, she's 101. She's over.
Is she 100?
She is
Oh, she's
100.
hold on, 100 in the chat.
It is over
serious?
100 in the chat. I don't yell like Pat does.
Shout out to the
Hey,
chat.
guess
Shout
what?
out to the chat.
Y'all about to get
And then what he do?
Oh wait, we got a super chat.
This one, y'all ready?
We got
Over 100 in the chat.
Oh my
we got a
God,
super
don't you
chat
dare.
here. We got
This Windy
Robert
City.
Diaz
Windy
says
City at night.
Stevie Wonder could call better plays than Getsy. Thanks a lot for the super
Wow.
chat, Robert. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
She's like 98. Hey,
Go
listen,
ahead,
whether she's 98, 101, they was forging birth certificates back then. Anyway,
The point is that
Wow.
they
she's seen everything. Great Depression and all. I mean, what you want?
but you know what stinks.
So
So
through 2 wars. What are we talking about?
what I do like,
That's a
I mean, let me.
You can't even discredit that. Yeah.
But I would say this too. It's about a network in your contacts, right? And so even as polls, he comes from a Kansas City organization. They're winning. The whole point is that just like what do they do in
She knows like half of the presidents by name.
Let her live, man. She only got what?
She's on like a first name basis with half of the presidents in the U.S.
Virginia
Oh,
out here doing her thing.
kid, come on.
Hey, Virginia out here doing her thing,
You
man.
gotta stop being petty.
No, you know what
Stop
I'm
living up to your name.
She remembers when Sid Luckman was actually playing. She was there.
Why do you keep saying Sid Luckman?
She's like, I know, I seen it.
Hey, listen, this is a compliment to her longevity. I just want to understand. I just want us to really understand that.
She's
a
seen the
very
most
durable
trash.
person. And listen,
Oh.
her emotional fortitude.
That's
At this
yeah.
point, she's the strongest woman we know because to carry this pain everywhere you go has to be debilitating. It just has to hurt.
That's what you call.
I like
die-hard, right?
Raging Oracle. He said hiring by proximity is what it is called. You're 100% right. And the whole point is that it's your network. If you know people, who do we know that we can get in here?
Mhm.
Those folks go back to the point. This is the first time we've seen it where they said we're going to step back. Right? The last time they won, well, they were dominant in the 80s was the Jerry Vinici and that was the GM and president, all those type of guys. I forgot you're the young guy. Those guys were the 80s.
You know who you talking about?
Jerry Vinici.
Hey, you know who you talking
We
about?
went through this.
Joe, you showing your age, man.
Hey,
You showing your age, man. We got
It's the over 40. If you're over 40, you know these people. You know these people. If you're over 40, hey, you weren't even alive when the Bears won in '86. You guys are like one
I was 2 years before I came on Earth,
one
baby.
or not even alive.
2 years
We
before I was
specialize
blessed.
between people at ages of 18 and 40 and 55.
Right,
Majority
so-
of them between the ages of 30. I mean 18 and 35. Don't nobody know who we talking about right now.
We're talking about
That
the
was-
85
that was
Bears.
85
basically.
Bears.
That's it. That's basically
that was
it.
the Super Bowl Bears.
I remember that guy.
Sweetness.
Guess,
Sweetness, right.
Guess what? How many people was alive when they won?
Jeez.
Most of you.
You alive? Were you alive?
3 years
Was
before
I
I was
wasn't
made,
alive.
baby.
Hey,
3 years
hey,
before.
you
hey,
have no
I was in
connection
grammar
to
school,
it.
so I was alive. I was in
You
grammar
have
school.
you have no connection to
I
it.
remember the paper and doing the Super Bowl shuffle in school and the whole nine.
I
So
see the
yeah, I
Super
was
Bowl
alive.
shuffle
Hey,
on
listen, I'm
YouTube.
connected to it.
No, you're not.
I am. We got one thing in common. We all from Chicago.
That's about it.
That's it.
That's where it starts.
Y'all realize
That's
the
where it
people on that
starts and
team are
finishes.
so old and disgusted that they don't even know how to tweet their disgust.
I know. It is, man. It is what it is.
They don't know how to tweet
You
their
ragging on the
disgust.
old people this time.
I mean, they catching strays right now.
Got Virginia and everybody is getting shots.
Virginia is a special woman. No, in all sincerity, I'm really happy that we at least get to say that.
Hey, real quick, I just want to throw this out because I got to be the stat man up front real quick. I had put this on paper, and I'm going to my notes at least once. all right?
This is the.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
made
Put
these
on me.
notes. You gonna let me get these notes?
Yeah.
He
Focus
said,
on me real quick, okay? I got a comparison.
Put some
Who is
music on.
player A? Oh, good.
Go ahead.
Who is player A and who is player B? Player A has 11 receptions for 170 yards and a touchdown. Player B has 18 receptions for 250 yards and 1 passing touchdown. Who is player A and player B?
They both received.
Not on the Bears.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
That's a good start. You're getting warmer,
You said
PK.
passing touchdown. That threw me off.
Yeah, I know, right? That threw you off, but it happened. Let's see what the chat say. It happened. Player A, again, 11 receptions, 170 yards, 1 touchdown.
Mhm.
Player B, 18 receptions, 215 yards, 1 passing touchdown.
It's not just
Taysom Hill.
We got somebody that already know what's going on. Player A is DJ Moore in the first 3 games.
Yeah.
Player B is Keenan Allen yesterday. Make that make sense. We brought DJ Moore in to be a Keenan Allen, and that man looked like Equanimous St. Brown.
Wait, look up DJ Moore's numbers in Carolina.
Man, hey, shout out to my fantasy league. I got like
Look
58
up-
points off him.
DJ Moore over there.
Dude, man. Pitiful.
That's a bar. I like that.
Dude, man. I had to throw that out. I'm like, that didn't make any sense when I saw
man
that.
said Keenan Allen. Yes.
Yesterday.
All
Kill,
my
bro.
troubles seem so far. Sorry.
You know, speaking about this fantasy,
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, I got Keenan Allen. He gave me 49 points.
Man.
And I still lost
Historic
that
thing.
man.
Good God.
No.
Good God. Who was you playing?
No, hey, listen. Hey,
Abracadabra.
hey, listen.
Who is Abracadabra?
You see who we got? That guy right there.
Josh Allen. Devontae Adams. Good Lord. 44. Yeah.
That right there. Plus,
You just went up against a good opponent.
Listen.
Good
And
Lord.
Mozart gave me 45.
Yeah, most of killed. That
Most
whole
of
Miami
Mozart,
team
whatever.
killed yesterday.
All right, so
I got to it.
we got to keep this moving. Man. We got one more topic. That we
One more
wanted to get to.
topic. Let's
I think this
transition.
is going to blend into. We're going to make this transition. Y'all ready for this? This is a Joe Hope blend right here at a party. So Colorado did something that was very interesting. You know, in fact, Coach Prime said, "You get me while you got. You might as well get me now. It's the worst we're going to be."
Yeah, because he built
He
it.
said that, and I believed it.
Mm-hmm.
I believed it. He said that. I was like, "Ooh,
He's building.
he building.
He's
right?
building. He's got a vision, and them boys are buying into it. He said he's 7 to 8 players away, and I believe
from
him.
being one of the
I
best.
believe it because the
Yep.
only thing he's missing is a little bit of girth on both lines,
Pause.
and it's over.
Pause.
You know what's coming. I do know. Hold on. You gotta give me one on that. You gotta give me one on that. I do know what's coming because you got me last time. Girth on both sides.
Pause, man. Pause, man. Y'all joking.
Oh, y'all funny. Drew, you
did it on purpose.
Okay.
That's what you
You
did
get
on
it. I don't know if he meant it or not.
Look, Rachel Paul, Paul. He couldn't type fast enough.
Oh snap! Oh god!
That is hilarious. Hey, you know what?
King 9621. That's what we're doing right now. We want to see the numbers of DJ Moore in Carolina just to see what he did in comparison from last year already. But
Who was his quarterback in Carolina?
PJ Walker, wasn't it?
Okay. Who was his OC?
And Baker Mayfield, right?
Who
For
was his
Luke?
OC?
Was it Matt Rule
I don't remember.
last year?
I think he was the head coach. He wasn't the
Yeah, right. I'm
OC.
sorry. Yeah, Matt
He
Rule
ain't
was-
had no line.
No, he didn't. He didn't have O-line. But they passed the ball down the field.
The one thing I would say is this, and I'll say this as we make this transition. Carolina did get whooped. Like he said, old-fashioned butt whooping. What was the official score?
70-20. Are you talking about Carolina?
Colorado.
Oregon.
Colorado.
Oh,
It was evident that
73 or
Deion's
40,
been saying that he needs those trenches. He needs the big linemen. He needs defensive linemen. And Colorado State last week put them to the test.
They did.
And Oregon showed you the difference of just top 10 talent. I felt bad because, I mean, they were just under duress the whole time. They
42-6.
Yeah, it was
Ooh,
42-6.
that sounds
Here's my question.
whole
Why is
lot like
every
how the
head
Bears
coach
lost,
coming
right?
for Deion Sanders like he's on the field?
That's exactly what he said. That's the interesting thing. He said they
Good
want to beat
Lord.
me. They don't want to. It ain't about the kids.
Now, to your point about maybe some of the, the
Oh, the
different
black-
shade type of
Yeah.
thing, maybe it's just the threat of a confident, person and
Confident brother.
they don't like that. Maybe that's the problem. Because
Deion's been like that.
I saw the fire. I saw the fire in that Oregon's coach's eyes. Like, yeah, they're doing this for clicks. We're doing this for stats or whatever. I was like, dude. Right. They wanted to make sure. I just think that
it's good for football.
It's
appointment television.
You need, you need. This is big money. Colorado's now booming up there, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. You need that, but see, he can back it up. A lot of times, cats can't just back up the talk. Deion's always been able to do that. So I hate that. He's still growing this team. So I mean, it is what it is. But he needs some linemen. Hopefully, those recruits start coming in for them. And that's probably why he had to leave Jackson State. He's like, I can't, y'all. I want to win, and y'all not giving me what I need. At least I'm in a big. Was it Pac-12?
Pac-12
I
conference. I
got
believe
paid
so.
attention to it. I ain't paid attention to it.
I believe so.
Yeah. So
I'm going to get Travis Hunter back too
with
when he comes back from injury.
So here's my point of this. This is what I got from us even talking about it, right? Because Deion, obviously, prime time is always going to be something big to talk about, right? But y'all saw the difference in how he handled that post game.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all saw the confidence he came across with. You want your head coach to do that. You want your head coach. I hate the fact of how you oriented them. You want your head coach to come across as confident as that.
Facts.
I want to see Matt go up there and actually say, "Hey, we know what we need to do."
Oh,
and actually call
a
it
pair
out.
of Deion Sanders shades.
Hey, listen.
Hey, them glasses is hot. I want some blenders.
Put them on. He gonna have a whole new persona.
I want some of those.
We need to get him some chains. We need to do something. But at the end of the day, I know you can't compare anybody to Prime. I'm not saying that. But it's the fact that the confidence he instills in his team, the confidence he instills in the fans that watch it, they got whooped. But you felt like, yeah, they down now.
They lost by
but he gonna turn this around.
Absolutely.
You feel that way.
Because they never quit. They never quit. Even when they were down big, they still were playing.
There's heart.
They were showing you're
playing for the coach.
Right. Playing for the coach because they know that he's going to give them the expert tutelage to make them grow as players, to potentially get them to the next level. So they going to play for him because he inspires them to play, and they know that whatever he's telling them to do is going to be good for them. It's not just, false talking. It is actually building them up.
I think it's also
encouragement.
Exactly. It's also a fact of having confidence but not being arrogant. And so that was a humbling. They now know. It's almost reminiscent of like the Dream Team, right? When they said Chuck Daly was like, he basically tricked them. Like, you could lose. And now it helps you understand to keep that in mind. Like, you are great or can be great. You can lose, but this thing is he still needs the talent. But Shedeur, he got 2 more? He's got 2 years, 3 years? Because he's got like
he's actually come out next year.
No.
He actually
Deion said he's not coming out next year.
He actually could come out,
but he's not. But he's got an extra year eligibility or something like that.
Penix is cold.
Who?
Is it Penix?
Penix Jr. I think
that QB, black QB. Caleb Williams and other black
Penix, and then Bo Nix is on Oregon, right?
No, Bo Nix is cold, but I like Penix. I think that's a kid to look out for.
Ideally, if we talking about the Bears,
that's a side note because we're talking
about no. You don't want to give up, because if you put all of those, because we talked about it earlier, if you put all of those quarterbacks that's coming out in our same situation next year, they're going to look worse than Justin Fields. So unless you're going to clean house and start fresh,
I can't say that because CJ Stroud don't look bad.
No, he already got.
Put him behind. Put him on the Bears. Does he still look good? He don't have a. Put him on the Bears. Does he still look good?
Houston is not good.
He don't have a.
Houston has a good coach now.
Houston's not that.
Houston has a good coach now.
Who? DeMeco Ryans?
No. Houston.
DeMeco Ryans is the coach.
He's a good coach.
No, the point is that there is still ability and skill set that each person has. Justin Fields is stronger in certain areas where another guy might not be. So CJ Stroud is not as fast and as powerful as Justin Fields, but he might be able to make that extra read that we need. We talked about just having to be able to anticipate. The whole point, like we were talking about in the car, is like that against Tampa Bay, everybody was trashing. You're like, oh my God, Getsy, why did you do that? Why did you do that? When you look at the tape and see what happened, where there's certain plays where guys are starting to get open and Fields won't trust that. He will not throw the ball when he needs to.
He's not good at
so he's going to put.
anticipation.
You got to anticipate. That's something you can't teach.
learn that. You can learn. You can learn anticipation.
Credit to you though.
You can learn anticipation.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I was blind for a moment. Credit to you for looking up his weaknesses coming out of the college. Because I'm looking at the 2019 stats he had, and I'm like, oh, this is an all-world pro quarterback. He ain't gonna have no problem adjusting and transitioning to professional football. But his weaknesses were what? Is not accurate, can't read blitzes, he can't see down the field, he can't pick up blitz packages. There's so many things that we see now that he's still doing in year 3, regardless of the coaching.
And guess what?
But that's stuff that you can be taught.
No,
because it is.
You don't think they're teaching him that now?
You can't teach athleticism, but you can teach somebody to read a defense.
You know what teaches you that? You know what teaches you to read a defense better? When you get killed your first starting game.
I was gonna say when you
get demolished your first starting game. You know what you start doing? Maybe I need to learn how to move some stuff around. You know what's gonna stop when you get hit as many times as he gets hit? You know what you start doing? Your job. You start learning that.
No, you don't.
Actually,
you don't. You know what happens?
You start relying on what you can do to help yourself. Is I can run. I can use my athleticism.
That's true.
It's like
so you don't. So say you.
He's not gonna tuck and run his way to the Super Bowl.
No. You're not.
You can.
No, you
Lamar
can't.
Jackson ain't do it.
No, you can't.
I mean, come on.
And you're gonna regress.
Ain't one.
No.
They got there.
Cam got there, but
They got there. I just want to get there. I just want to get there.
No,
I don't want to get there.
That's mid thinking. I can't give you that.
No, we want to win.
Because like I said,
I want to win.
get there.
I want to win.
No, the problem
I
is
always want to win.
you're going to regress. The point is that you have. It's a fine. You only have so many seconds to be back there. And the whole point is just like David Carr, it's even like Jay Cutler, guys that keep getting hit so long, you actually start to regress as a player. You're not as spry, you're not coming out there. So where you're able to play on fire.
What my question is now to the group, what do you want as a quarterback? Do you want an athletic quarterback? Do you want a pocket passer?
I want a winner.
I want a quarterback who can read the defense.
You want a pocket passer?
No, I didn't say a pocket passer.
You want a pocket passer?
I didn't say that. You don't need to be a pocket passer to read defense.
Now in today's NFL, if you're reading defenses, you are a pocket passer.
No, you're not.
Look at Pat Mahomes. Because Pat Mahomes just now said, and what he's year 4?
Yeah.
He just said now he's just starting to read defenses, and he's been in the same organization, the same offense for 4 years, and he's just now starting to read.
All right, Drew, give me this. Hold on.
Give me.
That's my point there.
Give me to the rule though.
But Patrick Mahomes is such an outlier. It's like you can only compare.
He's not the only young quarterback this now, because you look at the only person that could really read defense is the guy in San Diego. That's now the Chargers. Herbert could read defenses, but Herbert is not. But
they're not winning.
He's not winning, and he's not as athletic.
Hold on. Hold on.
Herbert has a good line.
He's always has a safe pocket.
Hold on.
He has a safe
Hold on.
But the Bears don't have that same offensive line.
I just mentioned Keenan Allen.
Hey, listen. He just ain't got no defense for some odd reason. Because he put up 1,000.
I'm about to cut everybody's mic in a minute.
Shut up! I'm the super producer. You gotta listen to me first.
Hold on. My point is, give me a 10-year starter as an athletic quarterback. They never last more than so many years because they get hurt. They can't run. They have to learn how to play the game. So they got to sit in the pocket. They all end up slowing down. They're never. Steve Young might be I'm reaching. Aaron Rodgers used to run a lot. He does not run. Athletic quarterbacks. He's not
a pocket passer.
He's passing now.
They
all slow down.
That's why I say, what do you want as a quarterback? He says longevity.
I said reading a defense, and you said that means a pocket quarterback. That is not true.
It is. I said, Russell Wilson.
That means they can process.
Name me a quarterback that reads the defense right now. It's not a pocket. It's not strictly a pocket.
I think you're framing that question wrong, because you're pretty much saying Josh Allen's a good one. Like, you're pretty much saying that there's no QB that can read the defense.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying,
the way you're trying to frame it gives that connotation.
No, what I'm saying is that all quarterback, you have to read the defense. What I'm saying is that's not my number one. That's not my number one. So if you're reading the defense, you kind of gonna be a pocket passer compared to a Justin Fields, because Allen, like you said, reads the defense, but Allen will go over there and truck stick you also.
So let me ask you this. This is a
right.
So
you
get the best of both worlds.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel but Allen couldn't always read defense either. He got better with the offensive coordinator that's now with the Giants.
This is something that has to change.
To me, it all comes back circle to coaching.
This has to change. This conversation has to change sincerely, because it seems as if now we only praise QBs who are mobile, and I know that there's a space for those have a special affinity for us.
That's today's NFL now.
Joe Burrow is not a running QB.
No,
he ain't got off.
He's athletic. He is athletic.
Have you seen him?
He's more of a pocket.
He's a pocket passer, but he still
I
has.
just saw a lot
He's
of that.
athletic. He's athletic enough to scramble for 10 yards when he needs it.
You making excuses.
Most quarterbacks are. We're not saying every
Hey, hold on,
quarterback
hold on,
is
hold on.
slow.
You
to when they
making
can't run
excuses
10.
for it now. Joe
Yeah,
Burrow
come
is
on,
not
man.
an athletic QB. Joe Burrow. If you made him scramble
He's
right
got
now,
swag. He's
You
got swag.
have-
He's athletic. He got swag a little. He got swag a little
Drew,
bit.
Kirk
athleticism
Cousins
to
can
him.
get you 10 yards.
I don't believe that. Yes, I don't
Kirk Cousins get you 10 yards if the wide
I can look up the
field is wide
stats.
open.
Kirk Cousins has
Come
like a 1.9 yards per carry.
hold on. Guess what? But Kirk Cousins could throw that ball, and he gives a really good, accurate. He throws
He's a
in
pocket
situations-
passer.
But his
That's my point. He's a pocket passer.
You have to direct the field.
I don't care what QB we have. I want someone who can actually lead these men down the field.
So you want a leader,
Somebody
and a
wants-
No,
leader.
we want you to read a defense.
I want them to be
And
poised
put the
enough
ball
to
where
be
it's gotta
able to
go.
do that. I want them to be poised. Everyone wants this. No, you want a competent QB. That's what you want. You want a competent QB who can get the ball out. That's what we're missing right now.
You got to be able to process, because you got to find the nuance, the guy that can get underneath. It's how do you all want the slant route, but everybody, the defenses are not stupid. They're watching guys. They're going to double team. They're going to bracket coverage certain guys. So you have to be good enough to be able to trick the defense. You to be able to do something to be able to make those reads. No one's giving you anything in the NFL. So if you can't read a defense, whether you run out of the pocket, run out and extend the play like Mahomes is doing. Mahomes is the perfect quarterback. He'll sit there and toe that line, and he's running, and then either chuck the ball or hit somebody. That's all you want. Aaron Rodgers did the same thing. Being able to say, you know what, I'm not going to pass that line because I don't want to get my head knocked off. Because that's the whole point. They're going to get hurt regardless. So no, Justin Fields, for him to be successful, he could be the greatest quarterback ever if he can make reads before he runs past that line of scrimmage. Because otherwise, he's going to get busted up, blow his knee out. What happened last year? His hamstrings got tired because he kept running so much.
Which goes back to coaching, because if you can coach these certain attributes to make him what you want to say, be able to read a defense,
That's
be
all.
more accurate. You can. This is all stuff that you get taught that goes back full circle to. Guess what? Coaching and play calling.
It's 50-50.
Guess what you are? We're gonna find out real soon, because we play again in 3 days. So this is coming up to the top, and I want to get this out before we get off here. What's our prediction for this Thursday?
Oh,
man,
the Broncos are going to be prepared.
I didn't even bring.
Broncos.
You got Sean.
don't even worry about it.
This goes back to
This
my
is gonna be a
point.
tomorrow topic.
This
but-
goes back to my point that when you have a great coach like Sean that sees what happened and the thing that whatever they put out there against Miami, they're going to be prepared for the Bears. They're not going to get embarrassed by the laughing stock of the league right now, because they already are the laughing stock because they got whooped by 50. So I'm foreseeing them winning by more than 2 or 3 touchdowns.
I think we're going to be competitive. We're going to lose, but I think we're going to be competitive.
We said that for this week.
I
No,
think we're going to be
We
competitive.
said that for this
You
week.
want to know why I don't think we're going to be competitive? Miami's defense is way better than our defense, and most people don't like. I went,
But
back and looked
Denver's defense was horrible. So we're going to be able to move the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's why I said we're going to be competitive.
No. You're depending on us moving the ball on them. I'm talking about the fact that they're going to walk all over us.
Yeah.
Because if you look at how Russ was actually playing, Russ is not the reason they were down 270-20.
He
actually played
He
a good
played
game.
okay.
That
He played
defense-
okay.
He
played okay.
Swarming,
Yeah.
and he actually played a good game.
Yeah.
I look at Russ, and people think I have this affinity for mid QBs. I say I look at Russ, and that's what Justin Fields could be. Justin Fields could be a taller Russell Wilson.
And I'm okay with that.
I just know
I'm
you love
great. I'm
Kirk.
okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that.
I'm okay with that.
I'm
I'm
fine
okay
with the
with that.
Seattle version. but
it's
I'm
not.
fine with
It's not happening, folks. We're losing next week. It's not happening. This team is shot. They have no confidence. And anytime I've seen enough of this nonsense where if you need a game, just like Mahomes and them, if you need a slump broken, the Bears going to give it to you because they're bad now.
We're that team.
If we
man.
We're
lose
that team.
embarrassingly this week,
They're losing.
someone needs to be fired.
Wait, where are they? Are we here or
I believe, let me
are
double
they-
check that real quick.
are they home or if they're home?
Hey, backup stat man, can you look at that for us?
I think, yeah, dude. No, they're
No,
home.
no, we're home.
Yeah, we're
Broncos are
home.
here.
The Boo Birds are coming out the minute that they don't, that first series happens and the Bears don't do something, the Boo Birds are coming out and it's a wrap. That's what I
That
think.
brings me back to the initial point, and when you said, "Can we salvage the season?" We all said no. We all have talked in circles saying that it's the coaching, this, that, and the other. We've talked in circles for hours.
Oh,
right?
I'm looking at the chat. Somebody just said it's going to be Beijing time. Agent Beijing is about to be after week 5 already.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I ain't got no problem.
I don't
with
see.
that.
I do see a situation in which that happens.
Yeah.
No.
I see a situation in which that happens.
Yeah.
No.
You want to know why?
Because
Justice
that
gonna get
means
hurt.
change. Yeah.
Justice gonna get. Y'all want that boy to go
He
out
got
there.
concussed.
Y'all want
at
that
the
boy
end
to
of
go
the
out
game.
there and run.
He got hurt last
Y'all
game.
want him to go out there and run.
No, I don't want him to go out there and run. What
I'm
I
not
want
talking about you, but I'm talking about the city.
No, the city
want that boy out there to run.
But the
He's gonna
city
get
wants to
hurt.
replicate what happened at the end of last year. I don't want that. I want him to roll out. I want him. I don't want him to run like that because potential to get hurt. I want him to roll out and make smart plays, whether it be with his leg or with the play calling underneath.
So that's what
Go
we're
over the top.
him running.
I want him to. I want, but I don't want him
Y'all
to just
watch this
run.
post game?
I don't want him to just run.
Y'all heard that? No. The question that he was a dumb question too. He was like, "Why didn't you run?" He was like, "Well, typically it now coach when you have success, then teams plan for you, so they got to spy this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Teams know what he can do.
Yes.
They're shutting that down." For everyone to say, "Well, why don't he just run?" The same
'Cause
way
they gotta
Jalen Hurts
spy
is doing
on
the
him.
same thing
Because they
Jalen
gotta-
Hurts is not having the same
Oh,
experience.
they have taken all the rush
They're
lanes
taking
away
all
from
that
him.
away.
They have
Gotta make
taken the
it
rush
happen.
lanes away.
If my way to beat you is to make you a passer.
I see-
what you
I see
think?
it,
I'm gonna
Kashay.
let you beat me over the top. I'm not gonna let you run all over me.
So for me, that goes back to play calling and design.
Right.
Because if you know that, so like I said, don't make if he can't read to the extent of a Peyton Manning or to that extent, make it dumb for him. Why are our coaches making it dumb?
But that
Dumb
means
down.
you got to be,
Here's what I
you
was
have to
gonna
be
ask
that
you later.
good.
Because you think a lot of just every quarterback in
But
the
Drew-
other 32, 31 teams in the NFL, can all of them read to the extent of Peyton Manning? No, but a lot of them are successful because why? They play in a system and they're being coached by somebody that allows them to do what they do
That's
best.
almost accurate. The problem is there's only like top 3 or 5 guys that could play in the league. It's very hard. The issue is that you have to have coordinators that are talented enough to out-trick the defensive coordinator. So it's twice as hard. If you can't make the basic reads I need you to make, it's even harder for me to scheme it to make it even dumber for this other person.
Did you see that? What they said?
What?
Somebody said in the chat that Beijing was that was the worst comment ever. Talking about to stick Beijing in.
Yeah, Beijing, if you do that, technically,
honestly, it
you,
might
you
happen.
have 2 more years.
What do you want? You
My
want to bring
comment
that
is,
PJ
I see a
Walker?
situation that's gonna happen because Justin's gonna get hurt.
You know
Y'all gonna want that boy to go out there and run like he did last season. It's not gonna last.
No,
want
I
Nathan Peterman?
don't want him to do that. What I said, I want him just to play smart, whether that be running when the opportunity is available or sitting out there rolling out. Like, why didn't we call more rollouts? Why is that not in our?
You want to know
play call?
why? Because the whole league knows that that's what you're about to do.
Yeah.
But you can still
Everybody
do that.
knows you're about to do
But you
it.
still could do it.
Everybody
Execution.
knows you're about to run. All
You
this
need
stuff-
the personnel for it to be
It's
successful.
just like
though.
them.
We had the
It's
personnel
just
supposedly now.
it's just like
Where?
it's just
Are
like
we using them right? Where?
Goes back to coaching.
It's
You're
just
not
like
using what you have.
it's like the Buccaneers game. They knew that dumb halfback screen was coming.
Yeah.
They were in position. They know what they're doing. So it's like if some of that is
That
you
was
call,
dumb
but if you
So-
play,
so-
if you
so-
call
so
that
you want
play,
to roll out,
so he can roll out and
where's
throw
your
it.
audible
Right.
off that? Where's your audible?
so the problem is if that's the play, but there's also another out route that's supposed to be seen because I mean maybe there is a form of trickery, but you can't execute the play to get done. We don't know if it's a 50-50 thing. The quarterback can't make the read, and the coordinator can't make the right call. So I don't know what it is. But we're getting close to time anyway.
Hey, it's time anyway, man.
Man,
Listen,
it's
we
all
appreciate you all, man. Shout out to JC right here, man. Stat guy in the building,
Yes,
up
sir.
front,
Yes,
and
sir.
right here. Shout out to my man Drew for showing up, man, giving us all the old guy stats over there. I love that. As always, much better than my boy Joe, whole super producer right there with the GM hat right there. He didn't give us no GM tips though.
I did. I was trying to help you have some patience. It's going to take a while to rebuild this thing.
Hey, patience with what, baby? Fire somebody.
We're in year 2 of this guy's
Hey,
rebuild.
we're gonna call you Kevin from now on. We need you to. Oh no, we're gonna call you Ryan Post.
You're going to call me Presidente? I'm going to get a president hat.
Hey, you gonna get a Rashad McCants crown?
Yeah, get a crown.
Hey man, hit that like button, like, share, subscribe again. Keep y'all thoughts and prayers for our guy Pat,
Yes, sir.
who's going through it right now. But man, we really appreciate
Shout
you
out
all. We
Pat.
know he's listening. He's probably gonna sit there and roast us after we get off of this thing. Y'all know who I am. I'm not special. I've just been here forever. Till next time.
All right, fellas.